These are this afternoon's top stories. Prime Minister Harris says illegal immigrants must regularize their status. One person injured in explosion at St. Lucia Fisheries Complex, and Italy hit by 2 earthquakes within hours of each other. Good afternoon. Welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Thursday, October 27, 2016. I am Shaira Flanders. Nationally, last Saturday's immigration initiative that saw scores of persons being detained in order to inquire about and confirm their legal status has been described by the Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, as part of larger efforts to bolster law and order in St. Kitts and Nevis.
This exercise is part and parcel of the larger law enforcement initiative to bolster law and order in the Federation and minimize criminal activities. The exercise came in response to growing public concerns. These complaints from the public to law enforcement agents run the gamut of the following: loud music in violation of the Noise Abatement Act, lewd behavior, traffic congestion, suspected illegal operations being carried out at the bars, fights and chaos in the area.
Prime Minister Harris has said the authorities were upholding the law and protecting their citizenry. He said illegal activity will not be tolerated in the Federation.
The law is the law is the law. As a genuine effort is being made now to uphold the law, violations of our laws will not be tolerated. In St. Kitts and Nevis, as in the Dominican Republic, as in Venezuela, Colombia, USA, Canada, Jamaica, name any country, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, there are consequences for non-compliance with the law.
Almost 100 nationals of Jamaica, the United States, Cuba, Venezuela, and the Dominican Republic were detained by police and immigration officials in the October 22nd exercise. 29 of the immigrants that were detained are reportedly still in custody. Devshi Saxena is the winner of the National Court School Reading Competition. More in this SKNIS report.
With a fluent style, smooth tone, and an accompanying brisk pace, Devshi Saxena, a grade 5 student at the Nevis Academy Primary School, was adjudged the winner of the 2016 Quartz School Reading Competition National Finals, held on Tuesday, October 25, at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort.
I feel good and I'm excited that I won, and I really appreciate the trophy and all the gifts they gave me, and I'm excited and I'm proud of myself.
The 9-year-old was quite impressive as she read a short story entitled The Village Dinosaur, and also a press release for the fictional Quartz News Now. The other participants in the 8th annual reading competition were Tony Allen of the Tucker Clark Primary School representing the Bastia Zone, Alex Joshua Condell of the George Moody Primary School representing the Private School Zone, the Jaden Dunrod of the Kayan Primary School representing the East Zone, Tashari Douglas of the Dieppe Bay Primary School representing the West Zone, and Ayana Mead of the Elizabeth Pemberton School representing Nevis Zone 2. Miss Saxena represented Nevis Zone 1.
Well, I learned how to pronounce my words properly, which was very hard for me because I have a different accent, and I had problem in saying the into the when there's a vowel in front, but with my principal, Miss Lucia Wilkinson, I have done very well.
The reading competition is just one of many taking place across the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States OECS sub-region. David Jeet Lal, branch manager of Quartz St. Kitts and Nevis, said that his company cared about the local development of children and was committed to the fight to eradicate illiteracy and would partner with the various ministries of education to achieve this goal.
We understand that the ability to read is key to achieving a better quality of life. And if the importance of reading is not encouraged, our youth will not be able to enjoy life's simple pleasures. It is critical for us especially to target 8 to 9-year-old age group, as we believe that this is the ideal time to capture their imagination and develop their interests.
The OACS reading competition is held in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Education. St. Kitts and Nevis's Deputy Chief Education Officer Darrell Lloyd spoke about the benefits of the competition and said its purpose cannot be overstated.
This reading competition takes place at an opportune time when the OACS Islands are faced with the challenge of reading comprehension skills, and where many of our students, particularly at the lower infant department, have been deemed as reluctant readers.
The senior education official quoted the results of numerous studies that showed that reading helps to increase the knowledge of readers and gives them an edge over others that do not spend time in a book. Mr. Lloyd also thanked courts for introducing the program, which he said has become a staple in the Ministry of Education. Ms. Saxena will now represent the Federation in the regional contest to be held in St. Kitts and Nevis in the near future. I'm Ian Richards reporting.
The Police Sports Club, after months of planning, has officially announced the reintroduction of Police Week, a week of activities to celebrate the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. This year's Police Week will run from Saturday, October 29th to Saturday, November 5th. The event has been absent from the force's calendar for several years. Upon assuming command of the police force, Commissioner of Police Mr. Ian Quealy signaled his intention to have the Police Week back on the calendar and challenged the sports club to ensure that it happens before the end of the year. Chairperson of the Police Sports Club, Corporal Jerry Watt, said, quote, "We are happy to bring back this event. It provides a chance for us to fellowship over sports and through the other events, and it's a way for us to get out and meet our communities. I want the public to embrace this effort and join with us," end of quote. This year's Police Week will be celebrated under the theme, Creating a Better Federation through Enhanced Citizen Safety.
New season begins Monday, 7th November.
And onto the regional scene. Barbados is preparing to host its very own version of the American Ninja Warrior obstacle course competition. More on that story.
Fitness gurus will have a chance to test their strength and stamina at the first ever Barbados Ninja Throwdown. The obstacle course competition will come off at Featherbed St. John on November 12th. It is the brainchild of Barbadian Delano Hines, a past participant in the American Ninja Warrior contest. To add Barbadian flavor to the 7th-stage American-inspired course, obstacles will include the Garrison Spider Wall, the Flying Fish Ladder, and Mount Hillaby. Mr. Hines said the $20,000 course was the first, and he hoped to construct more across the island.
Investigations into a mysterious explosion at the Ancillary Fishing Complex in St. Lucia, which left one person injured, are currently ongoing. Earlier this week, fishermen and residents reported hearing a loud bang near the facility. HCS's Rihanna Isidore has the details on that story.
An explosion at the local fishing complex rocked the ancillary village on Sunday.
The fire service responded to a call from the Ancillary Police Station, which informed of a possible explosion at the Ancillary Fisheries building. On arrival, there were no signs of fire. However, visible signs of an explosion were evident.
There was one casualty from the early morning blast. Reports suggest the victim was inside the fishing complex building at the time of the explosion. Newsforce spoke to the purported Good Samaritan, who says he rushed the injured woman to hospital.
Burned to the leg down. It was looking terrible.
But you really took her to the...
Well, I was the one who drove her to the hospital.
Okay. And what was her condition, you know?
Well, she was in pain, but at first she was stable. She was looking stable because she was telling us she has nothing. That's just a minor thing, but I told her they would keep her at the hospital.
The mysterious blast reportedly occurred before 6 a.m. Sunday, October 23rd. The damage to the ancillary fishing complex extends throughout the building.
Well, all I heard that when I was by my business place, I just heard a loud explosion. So I I stayed there a little while, so when I come out, when I watched this way, I saw all doors was open down there. Then I realized it was the building.
Investigating fire officials reported no flames emanating from the blast. Combustible items can be stored in fishing complexes. The fire service is offering safety guidelines, urging authorized fisheries personnel to use best practices when handling flammable and combustible items within a confined space. Rihani Isidore, HTS News Force.
And on to the international scene. Californian voters will decide on November 8th whether to legalize marijuana for recreational use. Many pot farmers have yearned for the legitimacy and respectability of legalization, but they also fear Proposition 64 could put them out of business. Here's more.
Hidden among the trees, small patches that make up California's pot production mecca.
A lot of people came here for a different way of life.
Guerrilla farms like this one are the backbone of the Emerald Triangle, a three-county region in Northern California growing illegal marijuana. The Associated Press got a rare look inside this secluded area.
Gotta get on the map, man. It's time to come out green, you know?
Farmers have been growing the drug here long before the state legalized pot for medicinal use in 1996. Now, as California voters decide whether to legalize and regulate recreational marijuana, emotions are mixed among those who've been flouting the law for generations.
With Proposition 64, the cost of marijuana is supposed to go down considerably. When that happens, if you want to stay in the game at this level, you're going to have to double your production to keep up with that drop in price. It's just not reasonable.
The California Growers Association, which represents hundreds of marijuana farmers and supporting businesses, voted to remain neutral on the proposition, underlining the contentious split among its ranks.
It's just time. It's time to end criminalization. It's time to stop this.
For Tim Blake, Prop 64 represents an opportunity to grow the marijuana business from tourism to products.
You're going to see cannabis grown at levels that people can't even fathom.
That's what worries Laura Costa, the influx of new growers with deep pockets.
Because we're just small farmers, we're not bureaucrats. And it takes a couple of lawyers and this guy, that guy, the other guy, and all of these other things. And the small farmer is going to have a real hard time pulling all that together.
A total of 5 states will vote on recreational marijuana on November 8th. California would be the biggest victory yet for the legal weed movement. Dennis Perrone co-authored the medical marijuana proposition 20 years ago, the first in the country. While he opposes Proposition 64's regulations, he sees the value of the measure passing.
It's about it. I want the nation to know the war's over.
But for some farmers in the Emerald Triangle, coming out of the shadows could mean losing their livelihood. Ned Barker, The Associated Press.
2 strong earthquakes hit central Italy on Wednesday. The 2 tremblers were followed by numerous small aftershocks and 1 larger aftershock. More in this report.
Italy was hit by 2 earthquakes this Wednesday. The large aftershock from the 2 earthquakes was measured at 4.3. The first earthquake was measured to have a magnitude of 5.5, and the second earthquake was measured at a magnitude of 6.1. According to the authorities, both earthquakes have not taken any lives or caused any injuries. Unfortunately, though, the historic church San Salvatore was destroyed in Campi, Italy. San Salvatore was built in the 15th century. The earthquake also destroyed a small portion of the town Visso, Italy.
And now for the weather. Present weather is partly cloudy. Winds are light and variable from the east-northeast at 6 to 12 miles per hour. Seas are slight to moderate with waves reaching 5 feet. The weather forecast predicts partly cloudy skies with occasional cloudy spells with scattered showers and a chance of afternoon thunderstorms. Tonight is expected to be partly cloudy with isolated showers. Sunset today will be at 5:42 p.m. and the sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:08 a.m. That brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Shaira Flanders. Have a good day.